Welcome back to What You Missed, a video game news show where I discuss articles that occurred within days to a week ago that you may have missed that are important to the video game industry and possibly to you. Hey, how's everyone doing? I hope you guys are enjoying your week. I'm going to be bringing you some interesting news today. Now, you guys remember there was a video that was released from the Pokemon Company talking about some strange things. It was all in Japanese, and it had a lot of stuff disabled on it. Well, that eventually came out to be an actual update for a website. There is a special website you can go to, and it's Pokemon.jp Special Mystery, and I'll go ahead and link it in the description below. But basically what it is it's like a lore website. And you do have to translate it if you don't speak Japanese, or you know how to read it at the very least, because that's what it's in, I believe. And what it does is it goes through a lot of the generations mysteries. Not every single one of them, just a large amount, and it shows detailed pictures, files, and writings on these things. And it's kind of like an X-Files thing. It plays some music in the background while you can read up on the lore. I guess this is to catch you up on the huge big game events that weren't covered in certain series or something. Maybe this is to prepare you for the Ultra Sun and Moon 2, or maybe potentially some remakes. But if they are doing remakes, they have Gold and Silver's time travel events along with Dialga time travel. Looks like they have the Unknowns and they have alien Pokemon in here. So it doesn't seem like this is going to be shoring up or gearing up anyone for anything other than the Ultra Sun and Moon 2. So there you go. For those people who are dying for Generation 4 remakes, I promise you they will come out. Mark my words, man. They will, but I just don't know when. And I don't think this has anything to do with it. Check out the website if you want to. It seems that they are doing something similar to what I do with Pokemon Theories, but they are just fleshing it out and explaining it in a more story-like way, as if this is an actual world and they're just talking between people and their hosts of a show. So there you go. You can check into it if you'd like to. And yeah, that's all there is to do with that mystery. So Doom has updated. That's the newest Doom, not the old one. Doom update 6.66. Ha! I get the joke because it's about hell. Anyways, basically they said that they have retired the Doom Season Pass. So if you bought one of those for the Doom game, I'm sorry. I didn't, because I already knew that it wasn't going to be that popular online, because unfortunately Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty are still up there. But the point is that they don't have a massive multiplayer audience. They're not making a lot of money. So they decided to allow everyone to have the new maps and the multiplayer modes and updates that they gave out for the season pass holders for free. So if you sign on to Steam and you have Doom installed, expect around a 36 gigabyte download, because it'll update for free. And you get all that stuff for free. So I guess that's pretty cool. You get extra guns, extra runes, different stuff, different demons you can play in multiplayer mode, but it is all basically multiplayer. It's pretty much multiplayer. That's the bulk of it anyway. So Sony is seeking beta testers for the next major PS4 update. And I have to warn you guys, this is a warning from me. If you do want to do this, of course you have to conform to the rules, but you may end up bricking your PlayStation 4. So be very, very careful if you're thinking about becoming a beta tester for the PlayStation 4, because you're not getting paid to do this. You can register for this, and again, I will leave the link in the description below. But this is coming out for the newest update for the PlayStation 4, and it doesn't outline the features that testers are being given, but it does note that prior beta for the system update 4.50 got early access to external HD support, which would be the hard drive support, custom wallpapers, and quick menu refresh. So this update is pitched in a similar scope. Not really sure anyone is dying to get the update for their PlayStation just to have some unique and interesting features like that. You do have to be 18 years or older to register, so please don't fake your age. You could brick your system. That's not cool, man. I'm sure they would fix it, but you know, you would have to wait the shipping period and whatnot. So that's not fun, man. Just be careful if you're going to participate into this beta. So everyone knows about the sealed copies of very rare NES games and how much money they can fetch. I've talked about it in the past, how sealed copies of Earthbound can go for $1,000 and loose copies can go for $200. Since it's been released on the Wii U, it's become slightly cheaper to obtain it physically, but still it's pretty difficult to acquire copies of games that are extremely rare in the physical format. With that said, a sealed copy of Stadium Events has sold for nearly $42,000. This isn't exactly new news. It's not shocking that we've seen things like this happen because the game has sold on eBay before, but to sell a game for $41,000 when you originally bought it for $40 to $50 is amazing. That's like, God, $10,000 multiplied more than what you originally paid for it. 4,000, I don't know, I can't math. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of gain. It's like a 1,000 times profit. With that said, the game itself sells for a lot of money, not because it's rare necessarily, because technically it is just a rebranded game. Originally, Nintendo had this released on their system, and they recalled it because they wanted to call it a different name, Family Fitness, and they wanted to rebrand it as a first-party title. And the reason for that, the game being sold for so much money, is because it originally was released but recalled shortly after, meaning that there's only a few copies loose out there where you can find them and purchase them. There's information for this and the legend, and I'll go ahead and link that in the description below too. But basically, there's only 200 copies that didn't get recalled and rebranded. Whether or not you have an official loose copy of this game, whether it's in a horrible state of condition, even if it's busted up or it's hurt or it's even been covered in water, it's probably still worth quite a lot of money because people would restore that. With that said, if you do have one of these laying around, make sure to check into it. So Vicarious Visions explains why Crash Bandicoot's remake is kind of harder than the original, or at least it retains the difficulty. So they said, quote, "Now we can all agree that some of the Crash levels were and still are not easy." And he began the post talking about this stuff on a blog about Crash Bandicoot, and this is the developer speaking about it, Vicarious Visions. Now they went on to explain that they wanted to go through the trouble to reduce any points of frustration while preserving the challenge of the originals, which I can attest to that. This game is very, very difficult. They went on to state in the forum post talking about how they were going to change some mechanics, certain things, but they ended up tuning the jumping differently for each game so that the jump metrics are the same as the originals, but there are subtle changes in Crash Bandicoot, chief among being the fact that you can fall more quickly when you release the X button than you could in the original, and this very well could have a lot to do with the different system it's on and how the controllers work versus the originals. They went on to state that an increased amount of precision is now required in the first game, which makes gameplay and the experience different. Particularly if you're a new player, they suggested that you should start with the second one or the third one instead of going for the first one. So that's kind of strange to me. I've always thought that to be funny, man, when people say, "Hey man, you should play the second one or the third one, not the first one first." It's like, what do you mean? The same could be said for a lot of games. Like the original Zelda is very, very difficult and cryptic. The original Metroid is very, very difficult and cryptic. If you were to play A Link to the Past or Super Metroid, those games would be 10 times easier than their originals. With that said, that doesn't make them any worse, and the same goes for the Sane Trilogy. There are updates for modernized checkpoint systems that make the game about a little bit easier. It's a little bit forgiving, but there are levels that are extremely difficult. And my final bit of news is that the Nintendo Switch online app is now available to download. While you can download it, unfortunately you can't log in as of now because there is server maintenance and you'll get an error code. You can get the app, you just can't download it. Now this is for the online play and use of voice chat and scheduling online games and appointments with friends. Now Reggie went on record to talk about how this is going to be better than packing in a headset and staying mobile. I don't necessarily think that's true. I think to a point it is. Don't get me wrong. I think having your cell phone on you and using it instead of a headset is way more mobile, but at the same time, could you not have given the option to have a headset on the Switch itself just to use voice chat with the Switch itself? Because I don't really take my Switch anywhere. So this doesn't benefit me at all. It's just a convoluted, complex system that I have to try and figure out if I want to play online. And I don't want to, so I'm not going to, because Nintendo put me off it completely. Instead of just plugging in a headset to my Nintendo Switch and playing Mario Kart with fans, I can't. It sucks. They don't even have a headphone jack for a Pro controller so that you could just use it at home. It's crazy, right? I don't understand what they were thinking with this, but whatever. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's the news for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of What You Missed. Please make sure to like this and share this with all your friends. I'm getting to a goal where I'd like to see these videos hit 40 40,000 views every day, that would support me financially in a way where I wouldn't be afraid anymore. I wouldn't have rough troubles with YouTube anymore, fearing whether or not I would be able to get enough income. You guys know how it is with YouTube's adpocalypse that occurred and a lot of things that happen on YouTube. So while I'm not going to become a sellout, I would just like people to share my videos a lot more. And the more views I get, the better money I make. So it's absolutely free for you to like and share this, and I'd really appreciate it. So thank you very much for watching this video and taking the time out. And if you do end up sharing it, I really appreciate you too. You guys have yourselves a great day. I've been your host again, Protomario, and I'm signing out. As always, good gaming, God bless, and thank you for watching.